welcome back to my channel where I document mine and my family's journey through Dave Ramsey's total money makeover. We are currently at baby step number 1, where we're trying to save a baby emergency fund of $15,000. So when you're on this journey to total financial freedom, one of the most important things is to live on a budget, which is something we started doing this year. We strictly live on a budget and we try as hard as possible to stick on that budget. But I've learned something, I've realized something since we started to, stay focused and stay disciplined, that there are little things that try to rear up the ugly head and make you lose focus or try to keep you out of budget. And these things are budget busters. So today I want to talk about 4 budget busters that I see sometimes try to creep up. So the first budget buster that I've realized is when I go grocery shopping. This is something that I am very intentional about. Every time I go to the grocery shop, I have a weekly budget of 500 Rand. And because I shop weekly, I want to be able to stick to the budget as much as possible. And I try to tell myself that if it's not on the list, I am not gonna buy it. Unless, of course, if it's something that's important and I know that we're gonna need and I forgot to put on the list. One thing that's usually not on the list when I leave home, but somehow finds its way in my grocery cart, is alcohol. I'll be honest with you guys, that's been a budget buster for me, especially with my grocery budget. Alcohol in the form of a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne or a bottle, okay, let's be honest, I don't buy champagne, I buy sparkling wine. So alcohol in the form of sparkling wine or alcohol in the form of red wine or white wine, but that bottle somehow finds its way in my grocery cart and it's never on the list when I leave home. So I'm starting to try to figure out, how do I deal with this budget buster? Do I get the discipline not to buy it, or do I start factoring it into my budget? I'll let you know how that goes, because that's been a bit of a budget buster on my grocery budget. The second budget buster is takeout. I try as hard as possible to make sure that after I do my weekly grocery, I meal prep and I meal plan and I cook in batches so that there's always food in the house. Because when you've got 2 kids and 2 adults in the house, you need to make sure that there's always food to eat. Otherwise, you get tempted to do that little takeout, which is a budget buster if you're somebody who does not budget for eating out. So which brings me to my third budget buster that's been rearing its ugly head, especially in this past weeks, and that is load shedding. How do I meal prep and how do I cook in batches? How do I make sure there's always food in the house when there's no electricity? So I'm hoping this thing gets sorted soon, because it's really messing me up. I'm over here trying to get prepared, trying to make sure that I'm on top of my game. And when I come back from the grocery store and I'm all pumped up and ready to cook in batches and meal prep, poof goes the electricity and I can't do that. And guess what happens? You end up eating out that evening or buying takeout so that you don't go to bed hungry. So I hope that little load shedding thing gets sorted soon, because it is becoming a budget buster that I'm really not happy with. So the fourth budget buster that I've realized we mostly suffer from is keeping up with the Joneses. You know the Joneses, they come in the form of your colleagues, your friends, or that neighbor. They have everything you want. They live this luxurious, affluent life, which you hope to do sometime down the line when you've reached your financial goals. But for now, you can't live like that. And for some reason, you find the pressure to keep up with them, to pretend you can afford the lifestyle when you know very well you can't. This may not be even huge things. This may be as little a thing as, after work drinks when you know they're not in the budget for you. But because your colleagues have this thing of gathering up together and going out for sundowners on Fridays, you feel the pressure to join them. let's not allow ourselves to keep up with the Joneses, because as you know what they say, some Joneses are broke. So don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't let the Joneses be your budget busters. Do you have any budget busters that you've realized have creeped up on your budget and tried to keep you out of focus? Please share them in the comments below, as I would like to engage with you guys. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And I'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye bye.